morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. So the market's hovering 120 right now. 125. You know, the ebbs and flows are real, guys. Like the waves in the background. The ebbs and flows are real right now. Lots of money to be made if you're playing this right. You got to think in the short term. There's a ceiling on anything, basically. NEO, onG, all of these things have ceilings right now. Look at QTUM, just had mainnet. Basically what happened for NEO happened for QTUM, but NEO went to $60 and QTUM lost like 15%. That's what's happening right now, right? So anytime you get a lot of green, like yesterday, right? I mean, holy shit, No Limit Coin was at 90%. Everything was just going absolutely nuts. A lot of the other coins did cool down, but this was a good time to buy NEO at 15 and sell it at 20, guys. I mean, if you're trying to make some money, if you're trying to, you know, make some moves, that's what I would be doing. I would, you know, I still do it on a fair scale. Not as much as I used to, but I mean, I'm looking at this and, you know, 2 months ago, I would have been all on this. I would have been just absolutely murdering this, right? So then 2 months later, I wouldn't have to do it. So these are the moments, like the volatility, people forget. You see this? There's a lot of money in this little motion. You see it happen across the board. It's pretty easy to predict that nothing's going to go to the moon right now with all the bullshit going on. So what that means is you can take clean chops. You know, NEO, you can buy at 15 and take a clean chop at 20 and think, well, I'm not going to miss out because it's not going to go to the moon right now. And guess what? If it did go to the moon, you sold it for Bitcoin or Ethereum. And guess what? That's still a good investment. That's another thing. A lot of people want to think, they have the FOMO. It's not, you're still, if I don't trade in USD, but I only trade in Bitcoin or Ethereum. And the thing about it is I don't ever have FOMO because I love Bitcoin, I love Ethereum. Those are still two great investments. I mean, so it's not so much of the fear of missing out as it is just being patient and knowing that you're a win-win either way. And when you have that kind of mindset, then you're not going to overpay for things. So yeah, I mean, like I said, OMG, you could have been buying it for like 7.5, 8, selling it for 10, 11. There's a lot of this going on. And it's just a beautiful opportunity to capitalize, in my opinion. These are, you know, people want to get all concerned. They just focus on the outside shit that they can't control. It's like, yeah, you listen to the news, you absorb it, but then you move on to what's in front of you. You don't want to constantly be worrying about what you can't control. That's going to really screw your vision up. So, I mean, I hear all the FUD. I hear all the bullshit going on in China. It's like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm not on China. I'm not on that. I don't care. I'm on what I'm doing. So, I mean, that's another thing. I certainly realized I was actually talking to my girl. She's here, and the first human I've talked to in a couple of weeks in person. So I was just kind of rambling out loud like I do in front of this mic. And basically I realized that it's quality over quantity, and the fact that when I've been doing my business development, it's really easy for me now, you know, to just get, you know, go onto a coin and business develop it, because obviously what I've been able to do in the past, and it's just easier than ever now. And there's you know, a lot more people reaching out. The team is expanded rapidly. I mean, I have a you know, a full crew, just everything from researching the ICOs to making sure that they're legit to you know, now I'm even getting some people I'm teaching to close. I'm teaching people to do what I do so I can create other me's, right? Because if I want to become where I want to go, if I want to become the richest man in the world, I'm not going to be able to do it if I'm going to have 5 to 10, 20 businesses. I have to manage myself. So the object of creating value in the form of another you, it's kind of like you cloning yourself. That's a good way, because I give out everything I know. I'm not trying to, I know there's going to be some things people can't do naturally that I can, and vice versa, things I can't do naturally that they can do. But the point is, they can at least get the best at what they're able to do and just keep replicating that. That's the value creation. You know, that's why I'm always really big on creating value. You always want to share. A lot of people want to hoard and sell. You should be giving it all for free and creating value teams where you find like-minded individuals that do the same, right? When you have a number of people who just spew their value out, and they come together and work together for a cause, that's when you're going to win. That's why No Limit Coin's winning. I love the interview with Ralph. If you're talking about, you know, he just goes over how the team, there's not another team in cryptocurrency that's like No Limit Coin, because if you go into Slack, I mean, most of the people we've hired just come out of nowhere, like world-class people, and everybody's coming together. Everybody's working together. It's a bunch of people spewing out value. And, 99% of them were coming at us doing this for free. And it just got to the point where we're like, wow, these guys are just so good that we need to pay them. We have to have these guys a part of the team. That's the FOMO. When you create value, people fear of losing you. So you don't want to miss out because you're like, man, this guy's only going to work for free for so long. I got to lock him up before somebody else does. And that's kind of like what happens when you start creating enough value. People will be like FOMO on your ass, and they're going to want to hire you, and they're going to want to, and I mean, I don't want to just give out personal shout outs. I mean, it would take all video, but there's so many people in economics like that I have tremendous respect for. That's absolutely, I mean, just, it's like a pillar for a tent, right? You have this big ass blanket, if you could think about it, right? And before we had one or two pillars in that bitch, and it was windy, and we came so far, man. I remember so many things, like so many milestones we just smashed. And I think that we have Johnny Chan now and Joe Theismann. I mean, do you remember when Ralph like cried live on air, basically, almost cried, basically, when he was the dreams of getting Joe Theismann? And now it's like, yeah, we got Joe, we're having dinner with him, you can play with Joe. It's like we're just, everything that we set out to want to do, we've conquered. Everything we set out, just the flow and the energy and the passion and the trust. Everything's so transparent. It's just absolutely amazing. Sometimes Raphael's too transparent for his own good, and it's still a beautiful thing when you see somebody who is just so out there that he's willing to go on any kind of interview. And that's fine, right? Because he's that kind of passionate man. He doesn't have anything to hide. He'll talk to anybody, anywhere, and it's just, I wanted to show a little bit of.
That's an incredible thing. We're going to go to dinner after the football game. We're going to discuss all of the things we want him to help us with. We also want.
Sorry, Ralph. I did this to myself.
On the actual website and our marketing
1.5 for the win.
Advertising. Come challenge Joe Theismann's fantasy football team. We want to possibly have some type of a call-in show where maybe the winners of the contest will have the first shot at talking to him live. So that would be very
looking
exciting.
for the UI. It's right here.
So that's very soon. Cool. Exciting.
All right, so we're going to go over the new timeline. This new timeline just came out.
The new UI, which is...
so like the upgraded wallet, more exchanges. You're going to see the new UI that's on here.
Very soon.
Right here. This is the new landing page.
You can see that we're really...
For crypto.
Stepping this thing up in terms of cutting-edge technology, both on the front end, on the back end, in terms of responsiveness to all of the platforms.
It's going into this.
Phones, tablets,
it's almost ridiculous how much is going into this UI. Like, it's like NASA scientist shit. Like, there's just so many people working 24 hours a day, around the clock. It's like we're trying to save the world from a meteorite, but really we're just making the world's best UI. It's overkill by... I mean, talk about bringing a bazooka to a knife fight. Like, I mean, it's just absolutely.
And you can get a little bit of an idea where we're going.
You can just see, all the sports. Look at all of these sports, and we're still there's still gonna be more, and that's the beautiful thing. Think about that. MMA is huge. That's gonna bring a huge thing. Obviously, NFL has been picking up. It's been ramping up. We're in beta. That's been slowing us down a little bit, but still, you can get on there. You can win lots of money, and there's people out there winning thousands of dollars a week. If you want to be a little pansy and say, "Oh, the new UI," well, there's other people out there getting it. They're getting 2, 3, 5 grand a week out there while you're worrying about what's looking nice. They're out there looking at the price, looking at their money go up. There's a lot of fish out there. There's a lot of people who are playing this who don't really, there's a lot of investors that are just playing the fantasy sports game because they can. And you have people like Philly D, and you got people in there who are just sharks, just fucking taking it up. So, there's a lot of people. This is a good time to make a lot of money. When the new UI comes on, that opportunity is going to be there, but not so much, because right now you got a lot of, there's a lot of free money rolling around there. And Raphael's pumping a lot of the random tournaments with more cash than they should be. There's a 20K Dan special, 20K no limit coin heads up Dan special. You can play me. My ass is fucking busy. I'm not going to be fucking doing my research. I'm just going to be picking the guys I like. So that some people call that, in poker we call that free money, right? So holler. It's only free if you can take it. But this is just the new UI itself is going to be like the functionality
on the docket. They're getting done. Nothing's going to basically, even quicker right now. You've got anime, we've got the feed. I just signed the contract for that. We've got soccer already moving. We're adding a bunch of leagues in soccer. and we're adding China Super League, and we're responding to the request of the soccer community where they wanted to have contests from within their leagues and mixed players. So we're gonna
see, we're doing all that. See, like any kind of feedback No Limit Coin gets, it's getting and putting into the game. Just check out the update if you haven't. It's a really good update. Raphael's going to be doing this a lot. It's actually a blessing. We're supposed to have a live update yesterday, but something came up on my end. We're going to postpone it until this Monday. But this was born because he had a lot he had wanted to say, and this is just absolutely a really great idea for him to get out and just speak, week or bi-weekly. For some reason, the first No Limit Coin thing, I don't know what happened, but for some reason, YouTube shut it down for some weird reason. Not sure why. But this is the new one. And, get in there. I'm not signed in on my browser. Okay. So, and that's just basically a community that's coming together. It's just so amazing to go from where it was to now having Joe Theismann, world-class UI, amazing team. It's just absolutely... and that just goes to show you. But what I was getting at, I have so many businesses on my plate now that I realized I have to shave some back and I have to turn down a lot of grape. All right, so in life it goes this. You got ladders. It's like, okay, you're gonna have to turn up. At first, you're gonna have to go after what's good, and you're gonna have to turn down a lot of what's okay. All right, you're gonna have to take some okay so you can get pay your bills and all that, and you have to go after good. And then you're gonna naturally make an evolution to where you're naturally gonna start reaching for stuff that's great. Right? And then you're going to have a little bit of okay. And then the majority is you're only going to go after stuff that's good. That's how you know you're evolving. Right? You don't know, this is the only natural way to ask, and like if you're lifting weights, you can know because you can lift more weight, later on. With life, it's kind of hard. A lot of people want to judge it by the bank account, but that's so wrong. And that's the majority of the reason why most people don't have the money, because they're absolutely looking at the wrong thing. It's like looking at the dinner and saying, I want that, but then you don't learn how to make it. And then when you go to try to do it yourself, you don't know what the fuck you're doing. You're like, well, I know what it looks like, and I know I want it, but you don't understand the fucking, you got to understand what goes into it. What actually matters is knowing, getting the information from the cook, right? Understanding, there's just levels to it. So then when you start going after things that are great, good, after a while, this evolution, then you're going to start fucking with things that are, beyond great, things that you don't even think you can do. And you're going to tiptoe in that arena. And then you're only going to start fucking with things that are great. And then you have a little bit of good and no more okay. You don't have time for okay anymore. And then this is just going to naturally dry up the good. And then you're only going to go after things that are great. And then you're going to constantly be going. And this is where you're kind of stopped, because you got great and then you got the great beyond. And you're always going to be bouncing between these two, because you can't always stay in the great beyond. Then you get lost. So you always have to kind of bounce back, see where you can go. You usually get burned, you bounce back to great. Almost every time you're going to get burned up in here until you don't. And then that just falls into the great category. And that's kind of how I am now with my businesses. It's like I realize that I'm at a sweet spot right now of the business development that I'm doing. And I really don't want to really take on too much more at this time, even though I know this is a good time to strike. But it's the kind of thing like worrying about what's on your food, the food on your plate. You don't want the food to get cold while you're looking at other food. You don't want to eat 7 businesses or 3 or 4. You can make more out of the 3 than you could the 7 if you're running the 3 right and the 7 aren't watered down. And that can be paralleled into a lot of life. Like coins. If you're stretching yourself, then you're buying a bunch of coins. Then you could really do more focus, more energy, and more value if you were to maybe break that down to 4. Depending on the bankroll, right? Me saying this, I have like 20, 30, I don't know. I lost count how many fucking coins I have. So, definitely a hypocrite there, but, I don't always do what I preach. It's just kind of it's hard to do. BitShares is going for 5 cents. That was absolutely a great deal. We keep this on a little bit short today. It is Saturday. I'm going to, oh wow, SYS coin, really great deal right now. Just lots of, it's a good time to get some of these passive income coins. I had a nice onG update. Well, the new UI for the onG is absolutely looking very nice. I have a demo version somewhere. Where is my demo version? All right, yeah, here we go. 1 second. All right, this is kind of what I'm looking at. I'm going to be adding some stuff, but I want it to be really, really lightweight. And I want it to pack as much power as TNT. You know, I want all of this to be just super badass stuff. And you got all this ammunition, but yet it's nice and clean and light, because this is going to be on a phone. You know, this is going to be apps. So this is going to have to look really, really nice. But I'm not a designer at all. I know talent. I'm really good at team building. I'm really good at finding people. You know, I'm kind of like a boat, and I'm on the front edge, right? And in the wake, I'm cementing value. So wherever I go, I'm cutting the edge, right? I'm the cutting edge. I'm creating the ripples. I'm creating the action. Right. And then in my wake, I create just value, cemented value everywhere I go. That's what I'm really, really good at. And, you know, I'm really also good at knowing my weaknesses and not even trying to give a fuck about them. I'm not a designer. I'm not going to try to be a fucking designer. But guess what? I know how to find a good designer. I know when I know him. I can know when for me, I can know when a motherfucker knows what he's talking about. When somebody knows what they're talking about, I know it. And, you know, I may not even know what they're talking about, but my bullshit meter is just Spidey sense 1000. I can just smell it. And I absolutely, oops, that was random. Yeah. So glad it wasn't some crazy. onG, the logo is absolutely looking nice. So this is the first demo he has sent me back. They're absolutely, you know, this is going to be another revamp. They're just going to keep revamping it, making it simpler, nicer, more honed, more thing. But I just wanted to give like a little sneak peek of what's going behind the scenes at onG. When the actual token gets on the site, that's when the traffic is absolutely going to go massive. We're going for the jugglers of everything. onG is going to take no prisoners. We're absolutely going after Facebook. Steemit's going to be a byproduct of just getting steamrolled because they couldn't up the game. We're not even going after Steemit directly. We're a Facebook killer. But, you know, I just think that Steemit's going to get kicked in the dick because onG is just, I mean, we're hungry. You know, I'm hungry. I'm on onG team now. You know, I'm a business developer for them. And that's the thing. People understand me. When I've been with No Limit Coin from the end, I could have dropped my position a long time ago. You can say whatever you want. Like you can think your thoughts, but I've been here. I have a track record. I have as much, if not more, No Limit Coin. Now because I give away a lot of No Limit Coin. I gave millions away to my family. I gave, you know, I always pay. That's how you create a community, right? I pay people in No Limit Coin. So, but I have pretty much the same amount that I've always had because of these crazy dips, you know, being able to buy on these dips and just able to, it's just, I want more. I want to own as much No Limit Coin as I can. I want to own as much onG as I can because I'm pouring my time. I can't get my time back. I'm not a bandit. I'm not looking for a hit and run. You don't become the richest man in the world by hitting runs. You can become the richest man in the world by staying power. You know, I'm there every single day in the No Limit Coin site. Every single day. There's not a motherfucking day that goes by I'm not in every aspect of what's going on with No Limit Coin. In the UI room, in the improvement rooms, in the bugs room, in the wallets, hiring people, constantly coming it over, constantly making it better, constantly behind the scenes, talking to Ralph, doing whatever it takes. There's no rest there. I'm there every single day. The same now with onG. XP the Wizard kind of made it to where there's like a little mini onG Slack within No Limit Coin, and I really like that about the No Limit Coin Slack because that's what people don't understand. We got the most active No Limit Coin. We have the most active Slack in the world because I fucking made it to where there's so much going on, right? There's so much going on in there. You can have outside opportunities. No matter what, nobody's going to keep 100% of their coin in No Limit Coin. They're going to diversify, and I make sure they diversify in things that are going to help No Limit Coin. With onG, No Limit Coin partnership going to happen where I get, can promote onG. onG's going to be like Facebook, right? I'm going to be able to promote No Limit Coin on an onG page. Like, it's all synergizing. And I just made it to, there's always a reason. There's always some reason to log into the No Limit Coin Slack. You don't know what deal you're going to miss. You don't know what this is going to happen or this is going to happen. It's exciting. And that's staying power. You want people to show up. And we have more mods in that room than anybody because we have so many rooms and so much going on. You go into some of these Slacks and they're dead, man. Even some of the more popular ones. And if there's a reason, you only go in there for an infrequent update. We got people in the No Limit Coin Slack that show up every single day. It's going to transition to onG because I'm going to be giving away a lot of onG. I'm going to be giving away a lot of big upvotes, right? Because I'm going to be an obvious onG whale, right? My upvotes are going to be worth thousands, so I'm going to be able to fucking bless people left and right. Everybody who's following me right now is getting a lot of onG. I'm going to bless all of them. Right, so this is obviously going to transcend, because onG is going to be a really cool way, because I'll be real comfortable sharing my life, because I know I'm not being spied on. So I'm going to be able to be a little bit more freer, and it's going to be a nice, be able to see a personal side to just some of the people going on behind the scenes, and get like a nice crypto community going on. And that's what, because by separating the news and onG with the feed, you don't get that steaming effect where you see like a Russian war and then you see some baby pictures. Like nobody wants that. Nobody wants babies and war and politics all in the same picture. Nobody wants that. Everybody wants their baby pictures and their selfies and all that over here, and then they want their fucking news that's fact checked, no bullshit going around over here. And it's just going to be absolutely amazing. I know that people are really waiting for the UI, and I know the price is probably going to skyrocket, right? I'm not giving any financial advice. I'm doing me, obviously, but I think the price is going to skyrocket after people see the new UI of No Limit Coin. But that's what people are. People are on that booty. You see that booty? That's what people are on, because people got to see it to believe it, and that's when they invest. And that's why you got a lot of poor people, or people who are underachievers, because no one really wants to take the risk. And that's fine, right? But it's just the people who do take the risk are the ones that are actually going to benefit at the end. And obviously, I'm still looking at some privacy coins. It's cool. Verge was the guy who really helped make No Limit Coin. The guy behind Verge, Sunrooker. I'm probably butchering his name, but I've also been looking at Verge as a privacy coin too. Just a lot of different privacy coins. I'm just not sure which one to go with. There's a lot of them. So, but yeah, just a really good time to still get into this market and just kind of take your swings, because I'm going to be getting into the fight now here in a little bit, because there's just a lot of money to be swinging, and it's still worth it for me, because you can see there's a lot of liquid. The market cap and the 24-hour volume is still high enough. Anything over like 5 million, you can really take your swings without affecting the market too much. And then of course you have your lesser coins where you have to be very, very fragile. I honestly don't trade coins that I business develop for, because I am looking for maximum growth. So I'm not, if I'm trading NEO, I know that I don't really care, because I'm not really affecting the market that much in a way when I trade anyway. So it's not a big deal. But for some of the smaller coins, it wouldn't make sense for me to be trading No Limit Coin, or be trading MyBit, or some of these newer coins when they need to grow, and I just want to see them do the best they possibly can. And trading can stunt a lower coin. If you're constantly selling for this and buying for this, selling for this, you're creating like you create a floor, which is always nice, but you also create a ceiling at the same time. If you remove that ceiling and then there's just a floor, the floor just keeps rising, and then it's moon time. But I'm going to kill it here. Cheers. Peace.